Live streaming is on.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 5th, 2020. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Relentless, one day closer to an all-time high. Having hype in motion. Compete, don't complain. I'm offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. How you doing? If you got a question, I got an answer. Just type it in the chat. I'll see it probably. All right, it's late at night here on the West Coast, but baby, I'm alive with pleasure. Pound that freaking like button. Hello, my elite friends. Again, I need to say it twice. All right, so the weekend is over, basically. And of course, what's happening? Bitcoin is pumping. Yeah, that happens a lot at the end of the weekend, it seems like these days. But long-term thinking, people. Having one day closer, what is it, 36 days away? We're going to talk about that. And it's like Friday's This Week in Bitcoin show is linked to below. Check it out. It is linked to below. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt. Very important that you do that now, since you never know when I'm going to get kicked off of what platform or whatever's going on. We're going to talk about that. But maybe you're listening to this, sportsmeister.com, hungrymeister.com, disruptmeister.com, TechBalt, TechBalt on Twitter. Seriously, if people were still a little confused, what happened? Well, if you were on Twitter, you would know. It's the pinned tweet there. I got it on top there. And yeah, things are great in podcast land and things are great in Twitter land. Things are wild and wacky here in YouTube land. All right. So yeah, Friday's show was all Anders had some great quotes on there. Simon from the Netherlands, and who else was on? Hass McCook had some beautiful quotes. So talking about the upside of the stock to flow chart, you gotta watch it. All right, Jeff Dorman, he says this: when someone sells a stock or a bond, it's unclear where the cash proceeds will ultimately be reinvested. But where do you think the $1.8 billion in Tether sitting on exchanges will be reinvested? Not a lot of options. That made me think, Jeff. That did make me think. 1.8 billion in Tether, and he shows a chart that shows the Tether sitting there. What are they going to do with the Tether that's sitting on the exchanges? What do you think it's sitting there for? Is it to buy altcoins? Maybe. Is it to buy Bitcoin? Hey, man, one day closer to an all-time high. All right. Now, what's going on here? Quantitative hardening. I talked about that term, which is basically just another name for the Bitcoin halving. And someone in motion made a quantitativehardening.com site. And really what it is now, who knows what they're going to do with it. Great site to own, great URL to own, because it's a great name. But it's a halving clock. It's a countdown to the halving that is coming up in May. That, hey, halving hype. People have been using that hashtag. Use it, baby. Use it or lose it. Pound that like button. That's what I used to say to one of my friends. He's like, why do you do your hair so crazy? I'm like, use it or lose it, baby. You might as well take advantage of it when you have it. And he had already started. He lost his hair early. Well, anyway, he's a good guy. Moving on. So, nothing wrong with losing your hair early. Nothing wrong with it. Now, this Dan Tapiero, you got a lot of testosterone. Some of the times that causes your hair to be lost. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons behind it, but I'm bringing up the testosterone because it seems like in America today, in the Western world, not a lot of guys have testosterone. They're not willing to take a stand against this ridiculous virus panic. Okay. And I talked about this on Saturday's show. So check it out. It's linked to below. That's Beyond Bitcoin. And I wondered that since people smoke marijuana, does that lower your testosterone? Because I don't know any pot smokers that are standing up again, that are defiant. They seem to all be compliant, all the Bitcoin pot smokers out there. The Bitcoin there's some vocal dudes in Bitcoin like me that are defiant. And by the way, during Passover, you're going to get a special outside video that I think everyone will enjoy, where I am quite defiant. You got a little preview of it last night in my in the picture I used, the picture I used for the video, the preview picture, whatever that's called, the thumbnail. Okay, so Dan Tapiero talks about and everything I link to is everything I talk about is linked to below. That's part of your job here, dudes. Just don't listen. First of all, make sure you listen. Listening comprehension is important. A lot of people lack that. But then you do your homework. You click on the links, and then you're really good. You do that instead of watching Netflix. We're going to get to that in a second too. So Dan Tapiero says, he talks about the 0 to 10 scale. From 0 is, and it's some survey that's been taken over the years. And right now, the scale it's at 0. It's the lowest possible. Maximum bearish sentiment right now from investors. Rarely, if ever, does reading it hit 0. Does it hit 0? Buying things at 0 has worked out pretty well for me in the long term. As bad as things feel right now, the markets are aware of that feeling. Focus on the future. Will be better than 0. Dude, this is when there's blood in the streets, that's when you're a buy-in, okay? Yeah, it's clear that a lot of people are down and the sentiment, there's going to be a 0 sentiment out there. Well, if you watch this show, you're not getting this is maximum freaking 10 over here all the time, baby, because this is the freaking golden age. I don't let virus panics get me down. But there are a lot of dudes out there that are clearly letting they panic sold. They've got all their money in Tether, all ridiculous stuff. And again, he's talking mostly about traditional markets, but it's true in the cryptocurrency space too, in the Bitcoin. I wouldn't say the bearish sentiment in the cryptocurrency space is as bad as in the traditional markets, to tell you the truth. But nevertheless, it's the sentiment now. There's all sorts of people that are sad about Bitcoin, about their investments, think it's the end of the world. Dude, the future will be much better than 0. So when you've got that 0 sentiment out there, you better be buying. You better be valuing your wealth in Bitcoin, man. You're going to look back on this one day and say, oh my God, how could I miss out on that opportunity? How did I get caught up in the panic prison? Okay, let's see if anybody had any questions over here. We got Eric Jones. Hey, he says, I might want to check out Dr. Shiva. I've actually checked out him. Dr. Shiva is an interesting guy. Is he using this a little bit to promote his political campaign? I wonder. I was thinking about that earlier. A few people have retweeted Dr. Shiva. He's I think he gets into the conspiratorial stuff a little bit sometimes, but whatever. He does. I give him credit for speaking out against this panic prison. Okay, he has strong criticism of falsy. Dude, there are a lot of people who rightfully have a lot of strong criticism for that freaking bureaucrat that likes to use outdated models and knows nothing about economics. Okay, there's the fire falsy hashtag going on Twitter, and all the panic prison movement people are like, that's a Russian hashtag. Oh my God. I mean, do they fall for, they're still in the Russia hoax? I mean, they're just people living in hoax land. I mean, there's some city somewhere, instead of saying Hollywood, it says hoax land out there, and they live Russia this, and I better be, they're scared of everything. How many times do you have to be told here that the Russia stuff, if you believe that Russia's a powerful nation that controls the internet or something, well, yeah, you would also believe that you're going to die from some that this is like a end of the world movie. I mean, there's so many people think this virus thing is it was like a Hollywood end of the world movie, zombie apocalypse. It's unbelievable what the media the mainstream, that some people fall for the mainstream media. The 80%ers, unbelievable. They believe in Russia still. They believe in this virus craziness. But hey, let them. And then their husbands also get caught up in it, and they have their husbands have negative sentiment. And it's good for us to understand that everything's Bitcoin is undervalued. There is a day after tomorrow. Pound that freaking like button. But yeah, Shiva is an interesting character to say the least. From what and I don't know that much about the dude. Okay, getting back to your regularly scheduled program of the One Bitcoin Show. We'll get a little bit into the virus at the end. I mean, people must be the people who watch my show. I hope they're tired of hearing about the virus. There's some people that is just virus 24/7. That's they're zombies in front of the TV. I must see ABC News. Must get scared more. That's how I get high in doom and gloom. But there are plenty of people that are like, we're not. Isaac Arthur, who is a genius, who does the science, the space shows. He's like, we're not going to talk about this. I want my space to be a space where you're not going to hear about the virus. And I admire that a lot. And he says one of his advice was like, don't watch TV. I agree. It's very good advice. Don't watch TV. You'll be a healthier person in this time of panic. All right, Liquid Bitcoin Network. The Liquid Network. Anyone can use Liquid, not just exchanges. Okay, now this is for your dudes who know what you're doing. I'm not advising this, but here are 2 ways that anyone can start making Liquid transactions right now. Option 1, set up a Liquid wallet in Blockstream Green. Option 2, run a Liquid full node. So check that out. And I said Blockstream, so all the conspiratorial people, and there are not that many of them, they're the same people that are scared about the virus, that think that Blockstream controls Bitcoin. Similar stuff. Speaking of similar stuff, Bcash halving, not much hype going on there. Now, I'm not going to say Bcashers are as bad. Well, Bcashers believe in, a lot of Bcashers do believe in the Blockstream conspiracy stuff. Although you don't hear much about that anymore because there's just not that many Bcashers, and they're not hyping up their halving at all. I think the virus has taken away attention from their halving. Really bad luck on their part. Because I wanted the Bcash halving to be hyped because it would get people aware of the Bitcoin halving, but it was not meant to be. And also there's an article out there, Bitcoin.com fires 50 staff as Bcash halving approaches. Is fear factor setting in? I don't know. You can read the article also. We'll see what this Bcash halving does. I mean, Rocky Palumbo is predicting not happy days for Bcash and BSV between their halving dates, which are like in 5 or 6 days. It's coming up, and no one's talking about it at all. And Bitcoin's halving will be May 14th or something. It's 34 days, whatever it is. So there's a month period but between it that could get nasty for those dudes. We'll see. Hey, someone came up with the term. Gunnar Dan actually came up with this term. Dollar cost hoarding. I like that. Pound that like button. If you're dollar cost averaging, buying into Bitcoin that way, you're dollar cost hoarding because you're buying it, you're not selling it. You're thinking 2024 halving, long-term thinking. Or you've been dollar cost hoarding since I've been talking about the 2020 halving since 2016, and you're real happy that you've been hoarding, that you've had a strong hand all this time. Let's talk about relative volatility. Someone mentioned this to me in a DM, and I answer DMs, dude. You can DM me at TechBalt, TECHBALT. Make them good though. Make them good, because I don't like the bad ones. But anyway, Bitcoin everyone says is a very volatile financial asset. Okay, very volatile. But these days, everything's volatile, right? We've gone through some major traditional market volatility. So the relative volatility, it doesn't seem as volatile anymore. And that's a good thing. So you tell your people that are into stocks and bonds and all that stuff, hey, dudes, your stuff is just as crazy. That's not an excuse anymore for you dudes not to get in Bitcoin. And I think there will be some people that are like, what the heck? This world is so freaking crazy now. Why don't I just get into something I used to think was crazy, but clearly isn't as crazy anymore, but it's just as volatile as this other stuff that I've been in all these days. Okay, 37 days until the Bitcoin halving. There you go. There, I wanted to say that. Hammer Time, 2004. Hammer Time. MC Hammer. That brings it back, doesn't it? He's got a good photo that he took in Cleveland, Ohio. Isn't MC Hammer from Cleveland? Is he from Cleveland? Somebody's from Bone Stugs and Harmony. They're from Cleveland. I can't talk about, apparently YouTube doesn't want me talking about black people at all, because when I talked about it on my video, they shut down my whole channel last time. But you still got a new show every single day. And if you want to see that video, you can go to my BitChute channel, where you just go to disruptmeister.com. It'll take you to BitChute, where you can see the video that got me kicked off of YouTube. All right. So anyway, going back to Cleveland and MC Hammer, or Hammer Time, he says, I believe the masses are starting to catch on, and the rise will be quick. This is one of my local gas stations here in Cleveland, Ohio. I have at least 10 Bitcoin ATMs in a 5-mile radius. So he takes a picture straight from the streets of Cleveland of an ATM at a gas station. So, hey, I think that's bullish, baby. I think that's bullish. The masses are seeing the ATMs. That's good. Halving hype. Tell them about the halving. But good picture there, dude. And yeah, thanks for copying me on that. And yeah, there's something. That's some insider information. You know, here at the Bitcoin Meister channel, which is temporarily at the at a different location, right? Well, it's depending where you are. If you're in audio podcast land, you're still like, Adam, why are you even mentioning YouTube jumping around? I know I could give a rat's behind about YouTube. That's a good attitude, because I love Anchor. I love my Anchor podcast, and yeah, it's increasing. Obviously, it's viewership, listenership is increasing there lately because of this YouTube insanity. But yeah, check out that. I forgot what I was saying about comparing the YouTube and just that's a good picture there of that he took in Cleveland. And I like to talk about Cleveland. It's like Baltimore a little bit, you know, post-industrial. What's worse, Cleveland or Baltimore? Flip a coin. Now, the worst is Detroit, of course. No offense to all the Detroit players out there. There's another reference to a rap song. I can't talk about that. All right, now someone will tell on me. I love informants. Everyone's an informant. I mean, the mayor of Los Angeles wants people to inform. And so you got people informing on YouTube, on people that make YouTube videos. Because people think they have a victory. They're like, oh, I told on Adam Meister. Oh, God, you're women. I mean, you're not even a man. If you think that's good, the tattletale. I mean, you're not a man. But what I was saying is that no matter what turbulence you're going to get from the haters, they can't stop it, baby. You cannot stop the Meister. New show every day. Even if you take down my freaking channel, you get a new show every day. Conviction. That's why it's the best freaking show in the space, best guest in the space. Pound that like button. And now I remember what I was. Original content like Cleveland pictures. You only get that here. Okay. Central bank, this is from Gladstein. He says, why central bank digital currencies might be really bad news, bringing with them elimination of financial privacy. Now, I have talked about that before. Forced negative interest rates. I've talked about that before also. And then he says bureaucratization of retail services. Now, I don't even know what that means, okay? But I didn't listen to this podcast where this stuff is talked about. But I did want to point out to the people that are like, ooh, when Fed coin comes around, Bitcoin better be scared. Well, again, as we've seen, there are plenty of people that will be bootlickers and do exactly what the government tells them. But what cannot be denied is that they will have, through these digital currencies, you'll have an account with the Fed or with the government, whatever you want to say. And if you don't spend your digital currencies, they will take away a little bit every month, thus negative interest rates. But these CUCKs, they'll love it. They'll love it. Even though they could get into Bitcoin, they will love what the government tells them to do. Because, I mean, you see it right now. Ooh, I love staying at home and watching Netflix and being scared and just listening to the government propaganda on the news. And then elimination of financial privacy. Well, they don't care about privacy at all. They're the ones saying, ooh, we should be just like China and monitor every single movement so I don't catch the flu next year. So I don't catch a cold. We need to keep track of everyone. So of course they'll be for a Fed coin. But that's just, I brought this up before, and he's bringing back up those negatives of digital currency also. I mean, they're so freaking obvious. Well, I shouldn't say they're so freaking obvious. If you watch the show, they're so freaking obvious, as I've talked about them a few times. To prepare for rebuilding, this is from Pierre Rochard. To prepare for rebuilding the economy after this crisis, I urge you to spend time learning about Bitcoin instead of watching Netflix. That's great sentiment there. That's great. 20%er strong hand. 20%ers, dudes, if you're watching Netflix now instead of watching videos like this and learning about Bitcoin, are you making a big mistake? There are people that are competing with you, okay, that are learning more than you and are going to be much more nimble when it comes to buying Bitcoin and have stronger hands in terms of holding on to their Bitcoin. Watching movies and getting fat on your sofa is a bad habit to get into when you're living in the golden age, and you should be able to be a Bitcoin master, okay, and live in the Bitcoin overlay. If you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix, you're one step further away from the Bitcoin overlay. Pound that like button, and you don't want to be far away from the Bitcoin overlay. You don't want to be in the mainstream panic prison of this mass movement called virus panic, where everyone blindly follows. Oh God, I don't even know. They're searching for their leader. I guess their leader will be Cuomo, or who knows. We talk about that on Saturday's show. This is not Saturday's show. Now, this is Sunday's show, I think, right? Yes. Okay. So speaking of days of the week, I just want to remind everyone that Wednesday night is the start of Passover. So from Wednesday night until Saturday night, I will not be posting anything on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, why don't you retweet my stuff and post my stuff for me? That would be great. It's a great way to support the show. I'd appreciate it. But I just want to, so there won't be live shows. You're going to get tape shows. Maybe This Week in Bitcoin will be on Wednesday. Maybe it'll be taped and shown on Friday. The schedule is going to be a little bit different. So, but you're going to get that outside show. You'll get that outside show on Thursday. And Wednesday, there'll be a live show, but it'll just be before Passover starts. So yeah, be prepared. Defiance over compliance. That's what you get here, baby. I do not follow the herd, nor should you. That's my recommendation for the evening. All right, we got people asking questions now. Oh, Rocky is here. I spoke about Rocky just a second ago. He says, Bcash halving will not be any type of major event. No, it won't. You're correct. The only thing I think will happen is they will have double inflation until Bitcoin's halving. Yes. We will see about that, but you're very much right. You've been on so far about the Bcash halving. And we got Rocky keeping an eye on Bcash for us. You can always count on Rocky. The great UK Bitcoin Master says, Bitcoin Meister, 2 strong hand Bitcoiners are in the house. Yeah, there's plenty of strong hand Bitcoiners in the house, baby. I like to see this. Oh yeah, Rocky and UK Bitcoin Master are definitely legendary. Oh no, you know what? Are 2 strong hands. Someone pointed out in the comments, and I did know this. MC Hammer is from Oakland. He talks about Oaktown. So I don't know I don't know why I got Bone Thugs and Harmony. Aren't they from Cleveland? It's the first of the month. I get it all confused. I'm not a rap master. Clearly. All right. But yeah, I did know he was from Oakland. Too legit to quit. Too legit. Pound that too legit to quit like button. Let's get out of the I didn't. Who else is someone's from Cleveland? Somebody's from Cleveland. I don't know who the heck's from Cleveland. Thurman Munson was from Cleveland, wasn't he? All right. Did I just close the crap? I hope I'm still I hope I'm still live there. I just closed something I should not have closed because you guys got me jumping around. Hang on. Let's 1 second, dudes. I just want to make sure something is still working. That doesn't usually happen there. Okay, live. We're going back to live dashboard. Hopefully it's still live. Oh my. All right. So I will say this. The people out there that are in the panic prison, they have tried to make this bigger than September 11th. I mean, there's so many people that just love doom and gloom that this is our September 11th. And they want to be victims. It's such a sick mentality. It is. I'm offended by this mentality. I really am. I'm offended by selling. I'm offended by these dudes with this mentality of this is going to be our night. Dudes, if you just break out of it, if you just live your life, everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is all manufactured by the people participating in it. It didn't have to be this way. Hopefully the economy, it will be unshut down very soon. We'll be back to work very soon. But economically, could it end up a worse effect than September 11th? Yeah, you're probably going to get your dream come true. Isn't that just wonderful? And it's going to hurt you dudes the most. And then you're going to complain about income inequality. But I just don't like that victim mentality that are like, oh, we have to have our own Pearl Harbor. We have to have our own September 11th. This is it. Finally, our dream has come true. I mean, what a sick dream. What a sick freaking dream to have. All right, let me show the shirt here. I love this Bit Piggy shirt. This dude is in motion. Jim is in motion, man. All right, almost at the end of the show there. Where's my notes section? All right. Yaron Brook has a good clip show that I linked to below. The last quarter of it is bad. He starts scapegoating and stuff, but he does talk about that people should be outraged at what's going on right now. And but he's not perfect in this. I thought I would link to it. Yaron hasn't been great on this whole virus situation, but for about 10 minutes in the video linked to below, play to 2x or play to 1.75x because you might have a hard time understanding him. So I thought maybe the virus stuff kind of jumped the shark today when people were posting about a tiger testing positive for the virus. I mean, has everyone become a woman? I know like a story like that might appeal to a woman. Oh, the cute tiger is sick with the disease. But come on, maybe it's jumped the shark now, this virus thing, when people are reporting about tigers. And we know that cats, felines can carry it. I really don't care if a tiger at a zoo got a virus, okay? But it was thrown in our faces today. Even I could not avoid it. So yeah, compete, don't complain. I believe that's the end of the show. Did I cover everything that I said I was going to talk about? Yeah, probably. We talked about, oh, great. Oh, great. I think it just changed the whole title of the show. All right, dudes, I'm out of here. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the links below, pound that like button. You'll get a new show here every day, including tomorrow. Let me end this show, and hopefully the notes section didn't get totally wrecked just now. All right, stop live stream.